Hello and welcome to Chesapeake Weekly. Well, it's severe weather week here in the Commonwealth, which is a perfect time to talk about tornadoes. So tornadoes can and do happen here in Chesapeake. In fact, just the past several years, we've seen quite a few damaging storms. So it's really important to be prepared. So first off, you must know the difference between a watch and warning. So a watch means that conditions are favorable, kind of all the ingredients are there for a tornado, so it could happen, while a warning means a tornado's been spotted and it's coming. So pay attention to weather alerts and know that a warning means you need to take action. Secondly, know where to go in the event of a tornado warning. Head to the lowest floor in the building you're in. Choose a room with no windows. Interior bathrooms or closets are ideal. Now consider where your safe spot would be in all the different places you frequent, like work, school, even the grocery store, and have those discussions with your children and family members. And if you're outside during a tornado warning and cannot get into a building, get into a vehicle if you can, and if there isn't a vehicle around, lie as low as you can, preferably in a ditch. To receive weather text alerts straight to your phone, as well as other city emergency information, sign up for Chesapeake Alert. You can choose how and when we contact you, but by signing up, it allows emergency officials to contact you in the event of an emergency. Sign up at cityofchesapeake.net/Chesapeake Alert. Progress is being made towards regional broadband. So representatives from all 5 municipalities involved in the Southside Network Authority, that's Chesapeake, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Suffolk, and Portsmouth, recently signed a project participation agreement. So this means that all 5 municipalities have solidified their commitment and they are on board for this regional ring. Now, Chesapeake's broadband initiative is also known as Chesapeake Connects, and this will bring critical infrastructure to our city, and our neighbors' involvement will only expand and improve upon its reach. The infrastructure is an underground network of fibers that will make it possible to send and receive digital information at high speeds over the internet. The Chesapeake Connects project will install the city-wide infrastructure, which will directly support government and schools, and will in turn make it more attractive and economical for commercial firms to offer broadband service to businesses and homes in the future. Well, Chesapeake native and NBA Hall of Famer Alonzo Mourning was in town last week as the keynote speaker for the annual Sports Jamboree. Chesapeake television cameras were there to welcome this homegrown athlete and many other local athletes just starting off on their journey. Take a look.
No doubt, it definitely took a village, as it pertains to me, and so moments like this, the Chesapeake Sports Club with the incredible work that they're doing, for the past 12 years. Definitely want to highlight them and anybody out there that's listening, get involved in your communities. Organizations like the Chesapeake Sports Club is a worthy organization to donate to because they're helping student athletes.
What we're about is interested in sports and seeing kids have the opportunity to do well in sports and also to help those that need help to go to college based on their abilities and their academic qualifications. So it's kind of a combination, and we just feel it's a way to give back to the community and help student athletes pursue their goals.
What's up, boss? I'm good. Good to see you. We think of all these treasured moments where that contributed to who you are as a person, and a lot of the folks that helped with that contribution of me being who I am today will be in the crowd tonight, and this just gives me an opportunity to show my appreciation and to celebrate them. As a kid, I was still trying to figure it out, and I was fortunate enough to have strong, positive voices of influences around me to help keep me on the right track. I just want to celebrate all those individuals, coaches, teachers, whether it be public officials and the principals and Jimmy Fry. It's just so many friends, teammates, a lot of individuals that really help contribute to my success as not just as a professional athlete, but as a man. It's been a lot of prominent athletes to come out of this area of Virginia. And I'm proud to be one of them. I truly am. You think of Bruce Smith, you think of Kenny Easley, William Fuller, Allen Iverson, Joe Smith, J.R. Reed. The list goes on. DJ Dozier. The list goes on. And I'm very pleased and honored to represent the Tidewater area. looking back on it now, I realized that I wasn't figuring it out. I had so many individuals helping me figure it out. And it's a lot of parents out there, a lot of kids out there that come from single parent homes, and you just can't leave it to the household to raise a child. Like you said, it takes a village, it takes a community to raise a child.
Chesapeake really does have a knack for building incredible athletes. We're home to countless successful professional athletes. You can learn more about the sports club and how to get involved by visiting ChesapeakeSportsClub.com. It's Women's History Month, so we're celebrating women in unconventional roles here in the city. So last week we talked about women in waste management, and this week we're taking a look at what it takes to be a woman in law enforcement.
So what is some advice you would give to maybe some woman who would like to work in law enforcement? What's a piece of advice you would give them to prepare themselves for it?
I would say if you need help, ask for help. I do like to go down when they're doing the physical agility test, and it's good to see someone that looks like you, that can give you some motivation. I tell them if they know that they're interested. A lot of women have issues with the wall, which is a tall wall that they have to get over. So I like to tell applicants that there is a wall at the Chesapeake City Park where they can practice and they can jump, and then they can also speak with you as the recruiter to do a practice run of the agility course until it comes down to them actually having to do it, and try to get a mentor. I myself was a mentor after I had a black female as a mentor when I went through the academy. So I like to keep that going, just to have someone who's been through what they're going through that they can ask questions to.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. That's one of the big things about law enforcement, and especially this department, how we actually connect with other people and help them out.
You can find the rest of that interview on youtube.com/Chesapeake Television. Now, if you're interested in joining the Chesapeake Police Department, Officer DePray Foster, who you saw in that video, wants to hear from you. They are actively recruiting. Learn more at ChesapeakePolice.com. And perhaps policing isn't what you want, but you still want to be a public servant and local hero. Perhaps fighting fires is more your style. While the application period for the Chesapeake Fire Department just closed, they look for new recruits all year round. So if you're interested, you just have to fill out a candidate interest card, which you can find on their web pages at cityofchesapeake.net/fire. And here's a peek at what all it takes to be a Chesapeake firefighter.
The fire's right there, so I don't really want the victim in the fire room because I don't want the crews that are putting the fire out to find fire. Yeah. We're out here doing our week of burns. We have to bring the recruits down here to just go over some stuff that we fine-tune, some stuff that we've worked on, try and get them in a live burn environment, advance some hose lines, do some breaching and breaking as far as like doors, put ladders on the building, throw ladders, search for victims, drag victims out, things like that. Holidays and stuff, When they get in the field, the city doesn't care how long they've been on the truck. First day it could be the best day of their life, or the worst day of their life, So we try and expose them to everything, and being able to get out here in Virginia Beach and partner with Virginia Beach and coming out here to the burn building and actually pulling some hose lines and feeling some heat and feeling some smoky environments. We use fake smoke in training sometimes, but it's not like this because you don't get all the elements. So it's really, really beneficial for them to come out here and feel the environment and be able to put everything together, hear the radio conversations, the dispatch, and talking, and it just helps get them ready. So we have 20 recruits out here right now, and which is about a typical size class for us. We do a little more, do a little less. Definitely one of the important things that we try and drive home for sure, is the brotherhood and sisterhood and the things that they can go through. And that's one good thing about getting these guys from the field out here with them. They get to kind of see that. We get involved with things that are going on in the department, try and do fundraisers and help people out, and they've been a part of all of it. And it's been a good growing process, I guess, for them to just kind of see really what it means and what this profession brings when it comes to that brother and sisterhood. And it helps make them stronger too as a class. All this is team building. And, some of the bonds and relationships they form here, they'll have their whole career.
Police and fire, both critical services here in the city, but an often unrecognized yet truly important group of city workers are those who fix up our roadways. Now, March is prime time for potholes, so public works crews are out in force putting patches wherever they're needed. But what happens when patches just aren't doing it and the road just needs to be completely resurfaced? Well, as with everything, the budget is limited, so a strict criteria must be met in order to determine which roads get resurfaced each fiscal year. Here's more from Public Works Director Earl Sorey.
So how does the city prioritize which roads get paved and when? So
this is one of those things that we're often kind of working backwards from the available funding. So, we generally have about $6 million a year that we spend on paving. And we have a pavement management system. So what goes into that system is we have a consultant that will look at the pavement condition. So they look at the surface condition, the number of potholes, the cracking. They also measure the flex of the pavement to see if there's any type of subsurface conditions that are problematic. But it's graded on a scale similar to a school scale. So 0 being the worst, 100 being the best. So for instance, a road with a rating of 80 would be considered in good condition. A road with a rating of 60 would be in poor condition. So, we're kind of using that scale as our guide and working backwards for the, from the available funding.
Now you can see the full list of which roads are on the fiscal year 2022 resurfacing list at cityofchesapeake.net/publicworks. Just look under active projects. Staff is working on the list for next fiscal year now, and that should be out and available this summer. Well, speaking of road improvements, transportation projects are often quite expensive, but luckily we're able to get help with funding from the Virginia Department of Transportation for some projects. Now, there's a program through the state called Project Pipeline, which serves as a way to identify cost-effective solutions to multimodal transportation needs to potentially qualify local projects for that state funding. So right now, VDOT is looking for community feedback on a project along North Battlefield Boulevard. The project area is Battlefield Boulevard between Gainsborough Square north to I-64 Walmart area. The study will identify and analyze traffic operations and safety issues along that corridor with a focus on easing congestion and enhancing pedestrian access. So the feedback survey for that project closes on March 10th. Be sure to get your feedback in. And there is a second project focusing on Battlefield Boulevard further south down by Kempsville. And the survey for that one will be open on March 21st. Learn more about these projects and access the surveys at vaprojectpipeline.org. The Hampton Roads Workforce Council is once again hosting the Next Gen Opportunity Fair. Teens and young adults from 16 to 24 are welcome to attend this event to learn about employment, volunteer, and post-secondary education opportunities. There will be more than 50 organizations there, including reps from the City of Chesapeake and many private businesses. The event is on Wednesday, March 10th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Conference Center. For more information, visit theworkforcecouncil.org. Well, scammers are at it again, of course, targeting senior citizens here in Chesapeake. Chesapeake Sheriff's Office has received several reports of seniors targeted with a jury duty scam. So scammers call a senior, identify themselves as a Chesapeake Sheriff's Office deputy, and claim that they've missed jury duty. Scammer says that they have a warrant for their arrest and they must pay a bond immediately. This is a scam. The Chesapeake Sheriff's Office will never ask for payment over the phone or through smartphone apps, and they will never offer to negotiate a payment instead of arrest. Anyone with questions about a warrant should contact the Chesapeake Sheriff's Office at 382-6159. Well, believe it or not, it's that time again, time to change the clocks and spring forward. Daylight savings time begins at 2 a.m. this Sunday, March 13th. Now, while we have it pretty easy these days, as most of our clocks just change themselves, it is a good opportunity to check the batteries in your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. And while you're at it, you might also want to review your family's emergency plan. Daylight saving time runs until November. And on a somber ending, I'll leave you now with a shot of City Hall illuminated in support for the Ukraine. Communities across the globe are standing united with Ukraine right now, and Chesapeake is no different. City Hall is lit in blue and gold, the colors of the Ukraine flag, to express support for the people of that war-torn country. Thank you all for watching. Have a great week.